Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and
this is Dee.
And we are the Jolleys. We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. Get the book, audio book, digital book, get it and grow. Well, welcome to you, everybody. Welcome, 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 wherever you may be coming from. We want to tell everybody that our TED Talk is doing great, but we want it to be greater. So we want everybody to go to jolleymarriage.com and watch it, and then do three things. We want you to like it, comment, and share it. So like it, comment, and share it. Okay, let's talk about it. We got to get into tonight's presentation because this is one, might take us a couple weeks to go through this because this is
why?
Because it's so provocative.
So you think it'll take weeks?
I don't know. I'm open to whatever. Male versus female libido differences and what to do when you have sex drive imbalance or differences. What do you do then? This is what. Now, how did this come to be? Well, this came as a result of my son sending me an Instagram post from a lady who I assume, I don't know who she is. Wish I knew who she was. If somebody knows who she is, let me know. But she is a therapist or sex therapist, I assume, or something, couples therapist, because she talks about people on her couch and couples that she's counseled. And it was done at Union Church, which we want to applaud Union Church in Howard County, Maryland, where my nephew, my wife's brother's son, is the worship pastor. But we didn't know that when we got this quote. We just knew it was a great quote. And I said, hey, that's Stephen Chandler, the pastor of Union Church, who
they have 4 locations.
4 locations.
They have 4 locations.
We're shouting them out and encourage young people, a lot of young people, to go there. And my nephew, Sam Rivers Sam Taylor, is the worship leader. Okay.
But they speak to issues that are relevant to their congregation.
Yes.
And their congregation, from what I could tell when I visited, is made up of thousands of young married couples with children.
Yeah.
Young married couples, individuals, single individuals, but what, 20s, 30s?
I think so, yeah.
And sometimes the commentary, I didn't know what some of the terminology was. I guess Cheryl would probably, and I was like, what? And I had to have you interpret for me.
Sure. We had to interpret for Dee. She said, what does that mean? What is that? So anyway, we're going to talk about a post that they have given us that we think y'all should see. Now, I don't know. I'm not tech savvy enough.
Now, you said y'all should see, but you're not going to see it.
I'm going to show it to them. Oh. See?
Excuse me. See.
I'm going to show it to you. Now, if I were more tech savvy, I'd be able to do it right into the application in the computer or on Instagram. I'm not that sex savvy. So we're going to play it right here from my phone.
Men don't just want sex, they need it. Hold on, say that again. That's how God created it. Audio system's not that good, so people in the back may not have been able to hear you. 85%, see, that's the statistics I want to hear. Go ahead. That's a challenge, ladies, because see, I'm going to keep it real because I would say 80% of the people who sit on my couch have issues with sex, whether it's the frequency or the quality. Okay, and 85% of men's libidos are higher than their women, and for the 15% of the women whose libidos are higher than the men, God bless your ministry. I am not one of them. So this is what I had to do. I had to say I need to minister in sacrificial love to my husband because he needs it. okay? And not just that wet fish type of.
All right, folks, that's the commentary tonight. Men don't just want sex, they need it. They need it. And she said she had to learn to minister to her husband by making sure that she ministered by giving him what he needed, serving his needs. And
so she made sex her ministry.
She said that she is going to minister to her husband in sex and not just the wet fish. We want to talk about that because we have many people who have called us and said that's an issue in their marriage. That's an issue in their marriage.
There seems to be an ongoing topic here.
There's an ongoing topic because,
why is that?
Because men need sex. They don't just want it, they need it like air.
So
like water.
Don't you get married so that you can have more sex?
Well, that's possible, but some people might be having a lot of sex in the unmarried. I don't know. That's not that. I don't think that's the reason why you get married, so you can have more sex. It's maybe a byproduct. But then you have children, and you don't feel like get a headache. Thank God you don't ever have headaches. I give you an aspirin. I said, here's an aspirin. Let's hit this aspirin. Here's 2 of them if you need. You need me to go to the store and get some aspirin? I'll do that. Anyway.
So full of drama.
All right. So this is a powerful point because we talk about sex in our book.
All the time.
But we talk about it in the book.
All the time.
Because it
all the time.
Why is that we talk about it all the time?
Because it seems to be a constant issue.
Let me tell you something.
Just give it up. I don't know. Well, you have to talk about it all the time.
Because
you know what you need to do.
But they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it. What you say?
So what can we tell them different?
Well, that gave them a new perspective. That's why I played that, please. Okay. Because women might not know. Mohawk Blondie, did you hear it? Was it audible? You know, did you get the message that men don't just want sex, they need it?
Okay, this was a marriage ministry, right?
This was a marriage ministry from Union Church.
So this therapist was sharing to married women. To see sex as their ministry.
See sex as they're ministering to their husband.
That's a good point.
That's the point.
Married women, that was the point that was.
Many times women don't.
Just nice and simple, married women see sex as one of your ministries. I'm just saying one of your, because there are other ministries that people have that are outside their bedroom, right?
But we need that ministry inside the bedroom. And a brother need to get hooked up, and many women have to.
You say the same thing over and over again.
And a brother need to get hooked up. Why you got such a problem with me saying it over and over again?
Obviously, you sound like a brother record.
Well, you know what? The best radio hosts have a broken record mindset.
And you are a great radio host.
They make sure, because people come into the radio airplay at
different times.
So you got to keep thinking of it as a conveyor belt that you got to keep putting.
Okay. I guess because I already know that. I already know what to do. Yeah. I already know how often that it needs to be done.
Yeah. Huh? Thank God. So, but people are struggling with this. And this is one of the points we keep getting from couples. So why don't you talk a little bit about what your research, because y'all know she did research.
How do you know?
Y'all know she did research. Go ahead. Come closer. You're out of the frame.
Am I out of the frame?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So just a quick review. When I said, okay, you know you're going to have sex when you get married, that's probably one of the reasons you're celibate beforehand.
You making some assumptions.
I'm making an assumption. You
making
always
assumptions.
accuse me of making an assumption.
Always making an assumption. Yes.
That's one of the benefits of being married.
And what happens if you get married for the benefit and it doesn't?
Wait. That's one of the benefits of being married is regular.
But what happens if it's not regular?
Intimacy.
What happens if the wife got married and then says, I don't feel like doing it?
Why you gotta say it's the wife?
And she said, I don't feel like.
Why do you say it's the wife?
Well, I'm assuming. I'm making an assumption.
Yeah, you're making an assumption.
But she says, I don't want to do it. I got a headache. Men don't have headaches. I ain't never met no. Men don't have headaches. I ain't never met no man and said, I got a headache. Go away. He might be tired, but headache, no.
Well, when you start out, you're kind of like excited, right?
Yeah.
You're bumping into each other and doing it everywhere all the time.
Everywhere. Walking around
Then what
naked,
happens? But then what
Lynthia said it could be the guy. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Olympia.
Okay, it could be the guy who has that, but
but it comes down to either partner. So, what is it that you do?
Right.
So it doesn't normally start off with, "Oh my God, I've got a headache," and what about tomorrow? Right.
So okay, let's go back to what the lady said is that 85% of men have a higher libido than women. Now,
I did not check that statistic.
That's what she said on the video. I'll play the video again in a few minutes.
Okay.
And then she said, if you're part of that 15% women who have a higher libido than your husband, God bless your ministry. That's what she said.
So how do you? Okay, let's go to.
And then what do you do?
So how do you get it to work together?
Yes.
So that you're on the same page or under the sheets at the same time.
Yes.
You're interested in doing the same thing.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So how do you do that?
Okay.
So differences could be, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It could be that someone wants intimacy and they want to fantasize, while the other person just wants a quickie so that they can go to sleep, right?
Mm.
Somebody wants romance with foreplay.
Yeah.
And somebody else just wants to cuddle and put their cold feet up against your warm body.
My warm body gets cold feet sometimes.
So I was reading one of those, what is it called? It's called the psychologist's name is Dr. Martha Lee, and she's a relationship counselor and a clinical sexologist. That's something new now. A clinical sexologist, and she's been around since 2009.
So
that's interesting. Okay?
I just got a great question from a friend of ours who's one of my dear friends. I love him much, and he asked a great question, Brother David. He said, but the root question is, why do men need sex? And that's because of testosterone.
They're wired differently.
And now men have a higher testosterone, and it's because of that testosterone that's running through their veins that they have this higher level of need for sex. So that's one of the reasons why this came up. Now, that's not always the case. It has been quoted, but it's 85% of the time. But it's a result of their hardwired.
But I think it's important to say,
okay, I hope that answers the question.
Because you're not in sync sexually all the time with your mate. We're talking about married people now. Yeah. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you.
No.
Okay, I want to make that clear. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with you.
But what we're saying in this video, she's saying, even if you don't feel like it, make that your ministry, make that your mission to serve and please your mate.
She did say that.
Okay. All right.
So how do you do that?
How
do you get in sync?
Well, how do we get in sync? Let's just talk about us. Ashwagandha! Taking them natural supplements. I make sure I take my ashwagandha, my eleuthero, my golden seal.
Okay.
Yes.
Something that everybody can relate to, is to build arousal, an arousal appetite. How about that?
All right,
that's
build
a
arousal.
fancy way of saying that because one's a crock pot and one's a microwave, knowing.
Well, to explain that to people, because they might be coming on.
Okay.
You got to think conveyor belt. You can't assume somebody saw it last time and knows the difference between a crock pot and
or
a
that
microwave.
they bought. Isn't that in the book, crock pot versus?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay. So we have our libidos are different. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong because we have different libidos.
Okay.
But once we know,
finish crock pot. I get that. Okay.
Once we know that a crock pot, women tend to need more affection, intimacy, whispering in the ear, the nice things and touches and stuff to prepare, to kind of prime the pump before they get it on. Right?
Okay.
So that might start early in the day. If you know that, like Willie knows that about me, he starts working on me early. He's always doing something.
I bring her a nice little goodie. Bring her some coffee.
Yeah.
I tell her how good she
tries,
looks.
He tries to whisper in my ear, tries to say something nice. But
I
I am well aware. I know what he's doing.
Bonjour.
I know what he's doing all the time, but it doesn't mean I don't like it.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So you're very well aware of what it takes to turn me on.
Yes.
The education part is very important.
Slow burn.
So,
crock pot is a slow cooker.
Right.
Slow cooker.
And men, by their nature, how they're structured is that they're microwave. Instantaneously, they're ready.
Always ready. Ready, ever ready.
Right. Or it doesn't
Push
take as much as it does.
Push the button and there's arousal and they're ready to go.
Mate. Right.
Okay.
Right.
But
So
it doesn't always work like that.
Wait.
Always like that.
But knowing that, then I'm sensitive and aware of what your needs are.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
And I cater to those needs.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, let me play the video one more time
Okay.
for people who might have come in late and not quite sure of what we're talking about. Here's the video one more time.
Men don't just want sex, they need it. Hold on, say that again. That's not audio system's not that good, so people in the back may not have been able to hear you. 85%. See, that's the statistics I want to hear. Go ahead. Yeah, that's a good one. Ladies, because see, I'm going to keep it real because I would say 80% of the people who sit on my couch have issues with sex, whether it's the frequency or the quality. Okay, and 85% of men's libidos are higher than their women, and for the 15% of the women whose libidos are higher than the men, God bless your ministry. I am not one of them. So this is what I had to do. I had to say I need to minister in sacrificial love to my husband. Because he needs it. Okay? And not just that wet fish type of
All right.
See, the only part I disagree with is that it's sacrificial. So if you love your mate and you want to please your mate, it's not really a sacrifice.
But how about if you don't feel like it? His libido is different. You don't feel like it. You're tired, and she's saying that's sacrificial when you don't feel like it.
So maybe it's part of the man's responsibility to help to get you in the mood.
Now I think that I concur with that.
Like
all right, men. I have told men over and over again. This concept of going in the bedroom and your wife's in the bed, she almost sleeping, you go in there knocking her on the shoulder. You ready? You ready? That's not good. You got to work on this. You can
still, if it's a late night or something, you can still cuddle.
Yeah, but I'm saying to men now. Men, start working. And look, if you want some sex at night, you got to start working on it in the morning. You hear me?
So maybe they're out. Maybe they're going to work before. They have different
time scales, but sending her a note, letting her know you're thinking about her.
Yes.
Sometimes have a sex date. Plan the sex.
Sexy texts. I've read that from send each other sexy texts, but you really need to be married to do. We keep saying married because then people fall out of love, boyfriend, girlfriend, and they put the stuff out there.
I don't know. I know what you're saying.
When we talk about text them something.
Text them something. Sexy. Okay.
Okay. But what flashed into my mind when I read that was that's what a lot of single people do. Then they're no longer together and they put all their business out on it.
Oh, you mean when they expose all
right?
Well, we're not talking about that because we're not single. We're not talking to single people. We're talking. We're talking to married people. That this lady said, you heard it, that 85% of men have a higher libido than women. If you're in that 15% of women who have a higher libido, God bless you. Now you got to figure out a way to get your husband to catch up with you, or so that he will be able to take care of business. Maybe
he's now ministering to her.
He need to be sacrificial or minister. He need to take something. I got some recommendations, gentlemen. But anyway, he need to be doing something to make her satisfied.
It goes back to Communication. And
And
communication is not just that.
And we know a
talking.
couple.
Wait, it's not just that talking. It is the observation
Yes.
and the touching and getting in tune with what your spouse needs, wants, likes.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
And that takes time together to do it. It takes an interest in your spouse to do that.
It does. So what we want to say, we say it in the book. Let me start off with the book. Hopefully you all got the book. But chapter number 7 is about the sex chapter. And in the sex chapter, we talk about a number of things, like making sure that you understand love and marriage is an ice cream sundae with all the marvelous toppings, and sex is the cherry on top. That was from Jimmy Dean, the great
and here's the other thing. How you have to consider, how did you learn about sex? I won't go into the, okay? For some, it is hidden, it's dirty, it's something you don't talk about, you just go and you do it and you're done. However you ended up with this mate, your views on what constitutes real romance and intimacy can vary.
Right.
So then it requires, again, the communication to say, honey, let's try this. Well, honey, you know what? That makes me feel uncomfortable when you do that. Mm-hmm. Let's try this. But it really comes down to how you talk. Not always what is taught, but how you talk.
Well, you got to talk. All right. And you already just said it. I think it was profound what you just said, that sex often is not discussed, particularly in churches, synagogues, mosques.
So I applaud
Chandler, Stephen Chandler and his ministry, Union Church. But we have a pastor who talks about sex pretty openly as well. Yes. And he'll say men need to get hooked up and women need to make sure that they take care of their husbands. He says it now. He does it in different ways. But now we want to talk about it because we wrote about it in the book. And again, we want people to know about what we wrote.
But I think you also have to say that women need to get hooked up. You always say the men, right? Because men are the microwaves, and women tend to be the crock pots.
So women need to get hooked up too. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And how do women let men know that they need to be hooked up?
Well, I would tell mine.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you do.
Straight up.
Yeah, straight up. Oh, yeah. Ain't no question there. All right, let me read this. Men and women have two different critical needs. Women need intimacy and security. Most men need two things. Most men, not all. Obviously, there's some who don't. Sex and respect. While women need intimacy, which is emotionally based, men need sex, which is physically based. For men, sex is a physical need like water, food, and sleep. A study done by the Journal of Sex Research and reprinted in Psychology Today by lead author Dr. Perry D. Fisher, a professor of psychology at Ohio State University. The study asked men to rank the ideas they thought about most often, and sex was number 1. Again, testosterone makes you think about sex. According to the study, men thought about sex approximately 19 times per day. That is how men are wired. Now, this is what this says in the study. As one of my friends said to me, you know the old saying, happy wife, happy life? Well, there's also one for men. For a happy man, sex is the plan. For more proof that sex is important to men, I went to a men's gathering, and the issue of sex was a major topic of conversation throughout the day. One gentleman put it this way: sex is not the answer. Sex is the question, and yes is the answer. Everybody laughed, but everybody in the room agreed. Sex is a major issue for most men. Olympia said men are from Mars, women from Venus. The Martians need sex, most of them. Now, again, we have met people where the wife outpaced the man, and we have one couple where it got kind of ugly because she said he was being, what was the right word? He was being selfish. I think that was the word she used. It was selfish or selfish. She said, you're being selfish because he had an orgasm to satisfy his need without taking care of her need. So it's a whole.
They have problems other than
He needs to think
in the
about.
bedroom.
He needs to think about baseball. You ever heard of that?
No, dear.
Men say to each other, "This is a man's thing." Okay, men know I'm talking about. We
No.
say, "While you're having sex, don't think of the sex. Think about baseball."
Why is that?
Because when you think about the sex, you enjoy it too much, and then that will make you have.
Ejaculate too
Yes,
early?
that's correct.
Oh.
But if you think about baseball or football or some other subject while you're having sex with your wife, then you can maintain. Am I right about it, man? We having real talk up in here. That's why y'all tune in on this on live and on Zoom and on Facebook as well as on YouTube.
So do I need to ask you? Are you thinking about baseball right now, honey?
Sometimes I think about this because I'm trying to satisfy you. I want to make sure that you get your full experience. Look. It's 9:28. I told you it's gonna be a two-parter. Well, do y'all think we should do this in two parts? Give me a quick response.
Okay.
Lynn said, "What?
What?
Baseball." That's right. Men think about. They talk. That's an old trick that old men tell young boys. Think about baseball. Think about baseball. Anyway, our time is up. Woo! This one went good, quick, fast.
You're funny.
We got to come back. We probably do this again next week. We'll see you next week. Our time is up. Remember, you can go to jollymarriage.com, jollymarriage.com.
Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung?
Yeah.
Okay. Jollymarriage.com to get the TED Talk. We want everybody to get the TED Talk. We want you to do three things. We want you to like it, comment on it, and share it. Like it, comment, and share it. And then also, for those who still want to get more enrichment in their marriage, I want you to understand that you can go to jollymarriage.com/events. Get our marriage repair, our relationship repair series. 5 parts: communication issues, how to fix that, sex issues, money issues, family matters, and blended family. And then there's a 6th session, which is the 11 biggest mistakes people make in marriages or relationships and how to fix them. Go to jollymarriage.com/events, jollymarriage.com/events, and order it. It's a great session. It will help you. And then where's our goaling session, Doc? We think that can be something people can do together. I think it's jollymarriage.com/goals. williejolly.com/goals. williejolly.com/goals. Do your goals together. It'll really empower your relationship. As Damon John said, that's the sexiest part of his marriage is their goal-setting sessions when they do them together.
I wonder if they do it naked.
I wonder too. Let's do our goals next. We got to go.
Okay.
I love y'all. We're going to go out with our music. Here we go.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.